Hello, everyone. Greetings. Welcome to a new video on Android. It's been a while since I've been captive in my house for a while, like cabin fever. What else is there to do? Work, sleep, eat, drink. I just keep doing it over and over. So here we are. So I'm going to introduce a different way to do APIs for Android. And I introduced how to do it with Volley, and that one's a little confusing. So I found this one, I don't know how new it is. It could be super new, it could be, I think it's been out for a few years, and I didn't introduce it because I didn't really know anything about it, to be honest with you. There's only so much that I knew about it. But anyways, it's called RetroFit. And so what is RetroFit? It's a REST client library. It's used in Android and Java development. So I'm not sure if it will work with Kotlin or not, but it uses HTTP request. And so this will be a way that we can grab our data through JSON. So I think this might be a little bit easier to figure out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I don't have my API up and running. So what I'm looking to do is give you guys an example how to do it, but I'm looking for you to take the code that I provided you with the API, spin the API up on your local environment. I'll show you how to convert it back and forth from the sandbox to the main environment. But for most part, you can run it locally and you can see how this works. And that's what I want you to do moving into this week. This week is a cleanup week, but it's also a way to add the dots and pieces to your project. So first and foremost, I'm gonna create a new project in Android. I'm gonna do an activity. I'll just call it my first Android API. Get. No, let's not do that. That's too long. We'll call it Retro API Lab 1 or Retro API 1. We'll just keep it like that. And let me find out the location for this because I don't know where that's saving at. To be honest with you, application coding. Let me go out here. I start really good with trying to keep stuff in order, and then I F it up. All right, so we'll call this Retro APIs. And we'll create a new API and we'll call it intro to retro. Or what do we call it? Retro API 1. All right, there we go. Perfect. Java, obviously, Lollipop is fine. Hit finish. Everything went over to my other screen. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that it's big enough. All right, so what I am going to show you is this website here. So square.github.io.retrofit. You want to use this, I don't know if I can zoom in on it or not. I can't. But anyways, you want to go to this URL right here, and that will be location where we need to grab this information here to implement it in our code. So it's his latest version. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this code right here. And so I'm gonna go into my Gradle script and I'm gonna go down to the build, double click on it. And down under dependencies, I'm gonna hit enter. And let's find out what the latest and greatest is. Oh, it's 2.3. All right, so let's do this. 2.3.0. Perfect. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is hit sync. So you can let it sync up. It will rebuild your packages, and we should be good there. Next thing is go over to manifest and Android manifest. So what we want to do here is we want to update this to show that we're using the internet because we're using an API. an API requires internet, and without that, it will not work. Fun times, right? All right, so we'll do users, oops. I can't type. User permission. Look at that. That never happens for me. That's the first time that's ever happened where it actually does it for me. Perfect. So that was quick and easy. All right, not much to do there. All right, perfect. So now we'll go into our main activity. What we're actually going to be doing here is, let me find it here. Let me find this URL here. We're going to be using something different for our API this time. So I found this on the web called ipify.org. It's just a sample that we can use for URL information, just to grab stuff. Now what I'm doing here is I'm showing you how to do this, but I'm looking for you to spin up the, I'm looking for you to do this ultimately. If you go out to GitHub, Point Park University, I create a repository for APIs. Where's she at? Right there. Oops. Grab this information here. I'm looking for you guys to load this up. It kind of tells you how to do it. It gives you a little, and this is needed for you guys to figure out how to do it. I think I have the SQL code out here as well. So yeah, I have the SQL code that creates the environment, and I think I have data. I could be mistaken. Well, you know what, I'll tell you guys how to connect to our API. Well, I'll tell you how to connect to the database, and the database will get you the data. Just double check and see if it's there. I'll get you some data that you can import into your environment. So use your experience that you did with database. So I'll show you how to, well, I won't show you, you should know how to do it. You'll go out to connect to the database, and you'll just download the, go out to the table, run the query, download it into a CSV, and then you can import it into your environment. And so right now I have a sandbox environment local, and then I have, or you could actually, another thing is for those who are in the Monday class, you could grab the data from that database as well. However you want to do it, that's up to you. You could connect your environment to that database as well. So actually, that might be an easy one for the people in the Monday class. You could connect to that environment and use that as your API. So how do you do that? That's an awesome question that Sammy is probably going to ask me. So if you go into your API, it's under app.js, and it is right here, your SQL connection. So you could put, in this case, you could put your name here if you're running it as yourself. But in your case, you could just put localhost, because this can be a localhost. The username for, so let's say that you're using a database, username for the database, the password, and a database. And that's it. You already connected to the environment. All this code right here connects to the API. Now this is all the stuff in my environment, but if you're using the database in March Monday class, you'll have to change this code around a little bit so it fits the needs. And the only code that you have to change around is the queries. But nonetheless, you'll be able to connect to your environment. So that's what I'm looking for you guys to do. Go a step above me instead of me kind of laying out the pasture for you. Okay? But in this case, we're just going to use this right here because I don't have my service running, and I just want to give you, some challenges to work on. Okay? All right, so that's what we're looking to do. So I just wanted to kind of pinpoint that out. All right, so let's kind of get started with the coding here. And let's see, step one, let's come down here. Oops, I was trying to make it bigger, but all right. Nonetheless, we will start here. So we'll do retrofit. So it recognizes it, and I'll call it retrofit. You could call it anything. Equals, so we want to give it a new retrofit. And we want to grab builder, so we want to build something. So we'll do here. Now what we want to do now is we want to use the, all right, it's throwing up a thing here. It doesn't recognize, okay. So it doesn't recognize call factory, doesn't know what that is. So we are going to need to add some libraries here in a second. well, we didn't even get done. So let's write this code first. So we need to do base URL, and we need to paste in that URL that we got over here, and we'll add that in a second, and then we'll do a dot build here. So let's grab that URL, which is this guy here. Perfect. And it really doesn't like that. Retrofit.builder. Alright, so let's add some libraries here. So we're going to need these libraries anyways. I'll just grab them. So we need retrofit 2.retrofit. We got that. We're going to need retrofit 2.http.get. The only reason I know this is because I wrote this and it blew up on me every time. Retrofit 2.call. We're going to need, and they're just showing you that they're grayed out because we're not using them at the moment. Retrofit 2.callback. Perfect. We're going to need to do import retrofit 2.response. Perfect. And then we're going to also need to import the retrofit 2. Oops, we don't need it anymore. But I don't know why we're blowing up. So we're going to need android.utility.log. Perfect. That's weird. Alright, it's still messing up. Why did it mess up? Alright, let's see. What did I do? Something wrong? Can I not spell? There's a chance of that. Let's type it again. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Retrofit, yes, equals new retrofit, and then dot builder. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Oh, it worked out. All right, so that's the first step. Next step is we need to have an interface so that we can interface with the libraries. Okay, so let's come down here, and let's say we need to do interface. And we'll call this API, because that's what we're interfacing with. And we'll do a get. The only reason that works is because we added the library, and then we'll do a / or backslash, whatever. And then what we'll do here is we'll use the call response, and then we want to grab the response body. And you see it's using HTTP3. I thought we had that up there. I don't think we have that up there yet. So we'll need that one because that will be a problem. And then we'll do get IP. So it didn't like that. So we need to, oh, we do have HTTP3 up here. All right, so just say never use, perfect. All right, so that's that. Now we need to come back up here. And what we're missing here is we need to create the API class. So I'll say API, because we already have an API, I'll just call it API equals retrofit dot create API dot class. So we want to create a class, and then we want to call that name that we just called API dot get the IP. So we want to call the interface here, and then we're going to use the enqueue, and within that enqueue we're going to do a new callback. And boom, so when you do that, it creates this override set that you need as well. So we're doing a response body, and then right here where it says that, we want to put response. Perfect. I'm not sure why I didn't pick it up. But what we're going to do is we don't need this here. We just need that. So let's see here. Let's see, something's funky. Something is funky. All right, what did I do wrong? Oh, okay, you know what? All right, hold on. Let's see, try public overrides. That's right. All right, hold on, get IP. That's right. Dot enqueue, new callback response body. That is good. You know what? We just, okay, I got it mixed up. We had it right the first time, and so it was open close like that. So that's good. So that's what we had. I had the response down here is what I wanted. So set C's overrides out. We could put something in for failure, but we'll start here. So this will be, what we're going to do here is this is just going to be a text-based environment for now. But as you see here, you can figure out how to put it out on the screen. Instead, you'll just use, you'll put, say, a text box out there or a label out there, and it'll be label.text equals whatever the value is. So same thing. All right, so try. So we'll do log, oops, maybe not. We'll do log.d. And then we'll do, we'll call it retro tutorial, or retro start. This is our first thing that we're doing with it. And then we'll do response, and we'll do body. So we want to grab the body, and we want to convert it to string, just like that. And there we go. And now we need a catch here. So we want to catch an error message in case it does blow up. And we just need an IO exception. And we need an E here to capture it. So you can put anything here. You don't have to put E. It's just a common thing that people do. Stock trace. So like for example, if I want to put the word F or even the word Z, I can easily come down here, do Z. You can do anything. I just do E because I recognize that E is an exception. SCZ, it's just common to use that. All right, perfect. So there's that. All right, so that is, I think that's it. Let's see if it works. It looks good, but I could be wrong. All right, so now we want to go into terminal. Oops, I'm at build, or log a cat, third time's a charm, right? So verbose, we want to have it debug mode. Oops. This guy should be checked. It will load here in a second, maybe. We're looking for an IP address. It just installed, so it'll take a second here. Load up. Oh, there we go. I don't know if that's changed from the website. 73.236. I guess it has changed. Different IP address from before. But right now we're just using text. Later on I'll show you guys how to pull back in JSON, and that'll be a different manner. But this is just the first video. But I want you guys to kind of take it from there and pull off the wings and just kind of fly and figure it out. So I know you guys could do that. So anyways, move it up here. So that is it. That is what you're trying to get in this exercise here. So I'd recommend that you try to do this, and then I recommend that what I would do is try it out like this first, make sure it works, and then when you do your API and you throw it out there, you can do the same thing. So let's see here, what the heck? Let me think of something here. Why do I have this here like this? I just noticed that doesn't need to be like that. I'm not sure where that even came from. Anyways, you do need to have your /, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure where the T came from. But if you did yours, you could have localhost /. You don't need to put the name of the thing. So let's say that you have, you wanted to do FAQ, right? You don't have to do FAQ. You would just come down here and do something like this. You would do something like this. You'd say interface, let's say FAQ, and then you would do @get, and you would do this here, and then you do call, same thing, response body, right? And then you would do a say get FAQ. But here's the thing, is that looks funky and it doesn't look like it's going to work. Why is that? Because you have to put it up here. So you'd have to come up here and do the same thing and do FAQ, and we call it FAQ equals retrofit create, and then it's an API class. You have FAQ class. Well, make it uppercase, right? And so you do this right here, Now it says it's never used, and that's fine. You would eventually use it, because then you'd come down here and say, oh, FAQ dot get FAQ, and then you do the same thing that you're doing here. Okay, you see where I'm going? You would do the same information. It's not going to work because it's trying to grab data that's there. So you would do that, and then you would have all this same code here. You could call this anything, it doesn't matter. This will pull all the information in. Only difference is going to be this code is going to be your FAQ, your linens, whatever you're doing, events. You're going to have this information here. And that's it, pretty much. So that's what you would do. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care and talk soon. Bye for now.